Hello, is Dab Life here, and today, TV show reviews, Big Mouth Season 3. Without further ado, let's get into a synopsis of the third season. Spoiler warning ahead. Season 3 starts off with the beginning of spring, which is 2 weeks after Valentine's Day. It's going to be kind of hard to summarize this season since a lot of the stuff they talk about goes absolutely nowhere. That's the biggest problem with this season, which I'll get into more later. The second episode of the season starts off with Matthew trying to work up enough courage to talk to Aiden. Matthew declines a call from Aiden, and then he accidentally texts him that he blew it with Aiden. I found that really funny since I do that all the time. This episode begins the plotline of Jay discovering his sexuality, which I really enjoyed that this season. Jay becomes obsessed with this show called Gordy's Journey, which entitles this magician guy that questions his identity and starts to explore his sexuality. Jay really resonates with the character and questions his own sexual identity because of it. Since Matthew is now a main character, we finally get to see his family life. His parents are pretty cool. I hope we see more of them next season. Matthew does a FaceTime with Aiden, but it turns very awkward and Matthew fucks it up. Matthew finally talks to Aiden and they arrange a date. Matthew meets up with Aiden but gets extremely nervous and fucks it up yet again, but it's all good because later in the episode Matthew invites Aiden to his house and the two kiss. Very cute and wholesome. Jay's parents pull a Home Alone on him and Jay goes to Nick's house. Nick's parents feel extremely bad for him and let him stay there, and he basically becomes the new Nick. Nick and Andrew go to Florida for spring break. When Nick and Andrew finally get to Florida, it turns out that it's just a shitty retirement home. Andrew's cousin Cheryl is there, and then this is the start of the incest plotline with Andrew, which is one of the worst plotlines I've seen in a TV show ever. I fucking hate it. I would rather have the show go on more talking about Jessie and how she's dealing with her depression, and not going on stupid fucking stories where Nick is addicted to his phone or where Andrew wants to fuck his cousin. That's such a big problem with this season. They focus on the most dumb plot lines and it pisses me off. I wish they would spend more time on more meaningful and good plot lines and not this crap. And another thing that pisses me off about them too is they only spend like an episode or two talking about the plot lines and then they immediately get rid of them. What's the point of making these plot lines if they're gonna go absolutely nowhere and affect the plot in no way? They're so pointless. It's such a waste of fucking time. And it was very disappointing to see it. Episode 6. Jessie explores her body this episode, which we finally get to see Jessie again. She's so underutilized this season, it pisses me off. Of course, it's because she's my favorite character, but even then some. In season 2, it was revealed that she had depression. I thought they were going to do something with that, but they do absolutely nothing with that this season. Like, what the fuck? Rankings. This episode introduces Allie, one of the new characters. I wish they introduced her earlier into the season and not so late. She barely has any character development. And it doesn't help that when they bring her in, the first thing she does is say that she's pansexual and goes on to explain it horribly with an analogy of tacos and burritos. In the end of the disclosure episode, Nick kisses Missy, which Andrew catch him. Andrew gives Nick a moment to tell the truth, but like, fuck Andrew. You don't own Missy. I hate that he's so possessive of Missy. The first 3 seasons of Big Mouth love to have the last episode be a random what the fuck episode, and Supermouth is all the characters being turned into superheroes that fit their personalities. Andrew is really annoying this episode. Get the fuck over Missy, you fucking simp. Jessie's superpower is that she's the Scarlet Truther. Whenever she touches someone, they immediately tell the truth. Jessie's mom reveals that she wants to move and that she already sold the house, so next season, Jessie is going to be in the city. The school breaks out into an all-out brawl, which after the brawl ends, it's found out that it was all Caleb's imagination, which I found that pretty funny. I hate the ending of this episode. Andrew decides he doesn't want to be friends with Nick anymore and says that he's a bad person. The ending of this season pisses me off because even though Nick is not the best person, Andrew is actually a terrible bad person. It pisses me off that the show's writers are basically stating that Nick is bad, Andrew is a saint, because Andrew is not a fucking saint, he's a scumbag. Anyways, Nick goes off to summer camp, so does Andrew. I've created a new selection, particularly for Season 3, because that's how much useless plot points there are in this season that go absolutely nowhere. This is the biggest problem and the worst part of this unfocused mess that was a third season. Here we go with a quick rundown of these useless plot points. The sexist dress code, Nick's phone addiction, Missy and Jay's fanfiction, the menopause banshee, boys and girls rankings, basically Allie and the character of Mona, who I didn't even mention because that's how much she's underutilized in the season. Connie and Maurice. Not much to say about these two, but they were great this season, specifically the combo of Jesse and Connie. Jessie. I really like what they did with her this season, but she was barely used in this season. It really disappointed me. Matthew. God, Matthew's great this season. I'm glad he became a main character. I really like his storyline this season. It was always nice to get more of him, and it was really cute seeing him try to get his first boyfriend. Jay. Jay's the best character this season. He's one of the very few things they actually did good this season. Jay used to be a character I hated in the first 2 seasons since he was just really fucking annoying. But he was my favorite character this season. I really loved his self-discovery plotline with him. It really resonated with me a lot. Andrew. Andrew wasn't the best in the first 2 seasons, but he is fucking atrocious this season. Fucking awful. This season's music is the best out of any season so far, and the most too with 7, 10 if you count My Furry Valentine, but since I've already done a review on My Furry Valentine, we're just going to be ranking the 7 from the main season. Slice of Your Pie. I hate this one. This is my least favorite in the whole entire series. I don't find the vulgar lyrics fun, it just grosses me out, and it doesn't sound very good in general. You Got the Power Now. It's 50 seconds long, it's fine. The Spectrum of Sexuality. When I first heard this musical number in the series, I fucking hated it, but after rewatching the show, I really enjoy it. Anything Goes in Florida. This is one of the funniest songs in the whole show. I really love that it's in the style of 80s glam rock. Why Does Nobody Get How Great I Am? I love this song. I really resonate with the lyrics. Slut Walk. I love this song. This is one of the very few Big Mouth songs that can sing word for word. Disclosure the Musical. I love this song. It's in the style of like a play. It just sounds great. It's definitely the Big Mouth song I've listened to the most. When I originally watched Season 3, I loved it, but after multiple rewatchings, it's my least favorite season so far. I really like what they did with Jay and Matthew, but besides those two, the season was very unfocused and had a lot of plot lines that just went nowhere. And the plot lines they did do were terrible, such as Andrew's incest plotline or Nick's phone addiction. Standout episodes are How to Have an Orgasm and Disclosure the Movie the Musical. Overall, I'd probably get this season a 7. It's decent. My next review will be Big Mouth Season 4, which came out recently. Hope you enjoyed my review. Bye-bye.
You people know a lot about trucks. Ding, ding, ding.